If you have ongoing exposure to controlling people, it's a virtual certainty that you're going to experience blurry boundaries, which is why I've created the extensive online course called This Is Me, Establishing Boundaries with the Controllers in Your Life. There's a link below that will give you all of the details, and I hope that you would find it therapeutic. A defining feature of narcissism is a pervasive sense of neuroticism. Now, we often think of a neurotic person as being somebody that's highly anxiety-ridden, and so if a narcissist isn't that per se, they'll say, oh no, that doesn't describe me at all. But actually, that word has a much broader connotation. Basically, when we talk about neuroticism, we're talking about people who don't manage their emotions cleanly at all. Narcissists are easily disturbed. They're easily set off from the main path of emotional stability. They have a chronic undertow of irritability. They have lots of mood swings and volatility. There are times when you know you're about to be in the presence of that person. You think, what's it going to take this time to set them off, because it happens so frequently. Now, the narcissist will not say, oh yeah, I do have that tendency. Instead, they show an astonishing lack of self-awareness when they think, well, actually, I'm the poster child for goodness and healthiness. You need to be more like me. And they just bypass the fact that they have these strong neurotic tendencies. That being the case, there would be 4 questions that I would like to pose to these people. Not that they would have an engaging conversation, but nonetheless, these 4 questions would give us a pretty good idea of where they are relative to that question of neuroticism. The first question I'd like to ask is, do you generate joy in your life? And when I talk about generating joy, I'm talking about more than just happiness. Sometimes people say, well, I feel happiness because they have an immediate positive response to something that went well. I mean, that's nice, that's good. But when I'm talking about generating joy, I'm talking about having meaningful engagements that are very rewarding and have a sense of depth to it. When we talk about joy, we can be talking about generating a feeling of contentment and safeness. It's like, oh, good. I'm glad that I'm in your presence. I'm glad that I am associated with someone as steady as you. You think that about a narcissist? They don't generate joy. And just watch how critical they are. They're critical of other individuals. Of course, a lot of it is a projection of their own fears of their own inadequacies that they put it onto you. Their criticism, their lack of ability to participate fully in the good things indicates, no, they're still stuck in that neuroticism. A second question that I would like to pose is, are you at peace with your life? Do you tend to think of narcissists as being very peaceful people? The answer is absolutely no. I mean, they're plagued by tension. Narcissists think of peace as being an absence of conflict. And so they work real hard to make everybody conform to what they want. But peace is much bigger than something like that. They can be easily agitated. They have low patience. They put on a facade to try to make people think that they're okay. But a peaceful person is somebody that says, I'm okay with myself, and for good reason. There's no phoniness. There is a sense of patience. They have a sense that says, I want to make sure that even in the midst of difficulties, I can bring a steadiness to relationships and to the world around me. You ever think of narcissists as being producers of peace? I hardly think so. How about a third question that I'd like to pose to these people? And that is, are you able to make healthy adjustments as needed? Now, narcissists, whenever there's conflict or strain or difficulty, they think, yeah, we need some adjustments, all right. You need to adjust to me. And what they'll do is they'll try to force other individuals to live according to their personal agenda. And their constant need to control other individuals implies that they're too lazy or too arrogant to do the work from the inside out. Neurotic people don't have much on the inside to draw upon. They don't have an inner strength. They don't have a good game plan about how they can respond in adjustments towards the world in front of them. They're constantly trying to make other people adjust to them, which implies that they have no appreciation for divergence and people being other and thinking and feeling other. It's all about me having to do things, having to make people do things the way that makes me feel good in the moment. They don't make adjustments. Or a fourth question that I'd like to pose to these individuals, and that is, how do you define success? Now, ideally, you and I would define success by the quality of relationships that we have, the ability to engage well with love or reliability or affirmation. We like knowing that we have a positive impact on other people's lives. And when we say that feels successful. No price tag on it. It's just a way of life that makes other people know, I'm in the presence of somebody who's a good person. Narcissist definition of success is material gain, or popularity indicators, or titles, or achievements, or looking the right way. They don't really have a regard for other individuals. They have a low level of compassion. Now, when we look at the implication of these four questions, they don't generate joy. They don't have a sense of peace, nor do they create peace in other individuals. They don't make good adjustments. They try to force other individuals into their mold, and they have a warped understanding of success. All of that's part of that sense of neuroticism. They're operating with a wholly dysregulated way of looking at life, and as a result, they don't do relationships very well. Of course, in their mind, it's everybody else's fault, but that's part of that lack of self-awareness. I want us to ask the question, what would be the opposite of this neurotic approach toward life that narcissists operate with? Now, as I think about that, there's so many adjectives that come to my mind. Let me see if I can run through some of those with you. A non-neurotic person emphasizes openness. They can be very approachable. They have a sense of agreeableness. Even in the midst of disagreements, they can still be agreeable. There's a patience that non-neurotic people bring. They have an encouraging presence, and they're truly interested in other individuals. There's a curiosity that they bring. Not data collecting, but curiosity. I want to know who you are. Non-neurotic people are conscientious. They're not self-conscious in the sense is like, I can't let anybody see what's going on inside. There's a conscientiousness, and then there's just an awareness that they bring of their pluses and minuses. Non-neurotic people are basically well-adjusted. They're practical. Non-neurotic people can be highly reliable and stable, responsible. Non-neurotic people emphasize modesty and humility. They're balanced in the way that they engage with others, and they have a togetherness within themselves. They're known as being somebody that has their stuff together on the inside. So I'm wanting you to realize that when you're engaging with that narcissist, they're trying to make you out to be the bad guy, but the more you see how they just bring this long-standing, ongoing sense of emotional strain and tension, it all is arising from their place of dysregulation from the inside out. They don't have a good internal monitor that says, I know how to live life well, and I know that I want to bring goodness to others. It's all about, what are you going to do for me to make me feel less agitated today? That's neuroticism. And so be aware that when they come at you with their dysfunction, they're going to try to say that you're the problem. But I'm hoping that you can focus on those ingredients that I just rattled off about what the non-neurotic person is. And when that other narcissistic person comes at you with their lack of awareness, I'm hoping you can say, I see it for what it is. I'm on to it. You're not going to make me responsible for your lack of ability to manage life well. That's not my job to carry or to maintain. And I hope that videos such as this give you some good food for thought and help you understand what you're dealing with. And like I say, I hope it becomes a prompt for you to become the better alternative. If you've not already hit that subscribe button, I would encourage you to do so. We'll have more videos come your way. You'll see a notification bell that goes along with that. If you have a need for counseling, I would encourage you to seek that where you are, or if you would prefer, we also have a link below that would take you to our online sponsor for counseling. There's a whole team of people that you could select from that would help you be able to unravel some of the things that go along with dealing with these kind of folks. In addition, we also have my courses, and these are not just one-off webinars, although we do have those too, but the courses have multiple videos and written instructions that go with it, and questions that are attached to each of the lessons that are there. It's very extensive and very thought-provoking and meant to be highly therapeutic for you. And so avail yourself to This Is Me, talking about boundaries, or Free to Be, discovering who you're meant to be from the inside out. We also have my books, and we have other resources below that I would encourage you to look into. Narcissists are highly neurotic, and the last thing you want to do is to take your cues from them. So I'm hoping that you establish yourself as the much cleaner alternative, that person that shows stability. And in doing so, you position yourself to stay out of the strain and stress that they generate, because I'm hoping you can be known as a person of calmness and steadiness, and most of all, a person that lives inside your place of peace.